Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the DAC 2017 CIS Qualifiers. It's the group stages here. LQ facing off against Team Spirit. I'm Lyrical, going to be joined as well by Trent Pax. And, well, Trent, we saw a bit of a frightening display in game number one from both teams, I would say. You can't throw too much shade at LQ in this one. I felt like they just ended up getting a little bit outplayed. Team Spirit looked incredibly strong. What was your takeaways from that game?
Yeah, I would say that's fairly accurate. Just couldn't get their own ball rolling with the minus armor. The deny of the Roche was also a pretty heads-up play again there from Team Spirit. Just overall, out-strategized, out-chenned by FNG. He made that early game seem pretty easy for them. Really opened up space for both the Luna as well as the Sand King, and of course the Tinker who he was giving the ganks over to. So with that much action coming from your Chen, it would be impossible to lose, you know, just too good. No, LQ, they fired back that one big play, the smoke out with the BKB on the SF, and then moving into a blink from there too, just because there wasn't anything to cancel like a BKB Requiem other than maybe a Chen creep, I suppose. But they gave themselves a chance to come back. They just weren't quite able to get it. I like the way Team Spirit were able to close out. Nice movements around the map, very patient, not overcommitting on their pushes, as well as getting that gem in a situation just to try and deny out for the eventual victory there. So very good signs already. If you guys want to hop on that Team Spirit train, I would say there's plenty of seats currently, but they'll fill up fast. I think these guys can be good.
I would agree. This lineup to me, it's sort of a return to a lot of what they did previously. Very snowbally mids. Iceberg, I think, is sort of refound maybe some of his previous form. You think back to like before TI 6, he was actually like really on the up and up, and I think that people started to pay attention to him, and then they realized how to shut him down in mid. And he's went through that natural lull that you see a lot of players go through, where they kind of struggle when they get shut down once or twice in the mid lane, and then they come back reaffirmed and a little bit better. And this is a place that I see him going to now, and they have a guy who can play IO, so it gives them more flexibility in their draft with Van Score. You look at like the deep hero pool as well from DK Phobos. I think that all in all, it's a very strong team that has a lot of potential. And honestly, depending on how it goes, they might end up even topping the group above Virtus Pro, who obviously ended up getting disqualified from their first series today. And I don't know. We'll see how it works.
Well, so far game 2 is already looking pretty good. Got themselves a lone druid. I heard he's okay. I heard he is kind of strong.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he can just not die, hit you from a billion range away, runs like he's hasted the entire game. Great stuff.
What a guy. Yeah, I think that
10 seconds
is this just to you the de facto hero of the meta?
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe. Let's see. They can still ban out the sniper as well. If they want to take care of that. I think that hero's pretty damn good against Lone Druid. Who's better than Lone Druid? I think Ember's also extremely strong, but he tends to get banned out. So does Lone Druid. I mean, he was last game. Yeah, I would give. I think Ember and Lone Druid are pretty similar. Maybe a little bit of an edge to Lone Druid.
Okay.
He works in anything. You can throw him mid. You can throw him safe lane. You don't have to build a whole team around him. He's just very, very strong, and he even helps take objectives at the same time. He's not just some player killer.
Radiant team
well, and
banned.
we'll see how they end up trying to deal with it. LQ already going for the Darkseer in the Rubik, so they've secured themselves the Darkseer. It feels like this is, to me, to set up for a strong dual lane to pressure them early. Does that seem like the best option for you?
You always want to keep it open for sure with the Darkseer. Right now, they are getting rid of the Disruptor, which kind of suggests that maybe it's going to be a solo Darkseer. They just want to make sure they don't have some of the best heroes up against them. And they take out the Jug and the Disruptor. Disruptor not very good against dual lanes anyway, so maybe they're looking towards like a jungle sort of a strategy here and just leaving Darkseer on his own. Could be some sort of like a dual mid situation. Could be someone who roams a little bit better with the Rubik as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Definitely, it seems to be they're opening it up for a solo
5 seconds
Darkseer.
remaining.
Okay. Well, a lot of options, of course, and you can think about running in again heroes that don't necessarily have to be dual laned with them, but you throw the Ion Shell on them and it turns into a whole new beast, depending upon what that wants to be. Juggernaut's already out of the pool, as is Ember. A couple of those heroes that you would normally throw an Ion Shell on to get that extra burst of damage. I guess Spirit Breaker If we wanted to see that, that's something else, and then he can roam
It's-
around some.
Yeah, it's actually, in terms of the ones that are
Dire
left,
team
I would say he's
pick.
probably one of the best ones. Night Stalker was an old classic too, but I don't know if he'd really have the gap close onto the Lone Druid. I think Spirit Breaker is a hero that could do that. But we don't know too much about what LQ are up to. Maybe they like it. They also do
10
pick
seconds
Night Stalker,
remaining.
at least occasionally, which is most people don't. Abaddon,
5
they usually run in like a core
remaining.
role, but he works okay in those situations.
I
Their
think
Underlord, of course, banned out first.
I think a lot of those
Reserve
two are
time.
probably screen heroes as well, but who obviously is not playing in this one. I'm not exactly sure why Lalek is standing in for him, but they're going to go for Avenge now. And,
Radiant
well,
team
Team Spirit, are they going to get SD Luna in the second phase? This would be insanity.
Oh, with a Lone Druid too. That's pretty nasty. Then they just need some sort of a offlaner that could, like a Centaur or something, someone that could just be in your face. They don't even need the SD,
10
honestly.
seconds
Luna's
remaining.
just strong enough already. This is pretty good for them.
5
She doesn't,
seconds
I guess,
remaining.
do as well as Jug up against the Darkseer, though, so that's why LQ were okay with letting the Luna through.
Reserve
But with
time.
that Venge now picked up, last time I saw they ran it support, but I'm sure they've run it carry before in the past too, so it's still open for LQ. I like it as a support more so, I would say, because I think you're going to need to use that swap to like aggressively grab the Lone Druid, and I don't know if you want to be the core swapping Lone Druid back into your team and then standing in the middle of a Luna and friends.
Yeah, I worry right now too for LQ that you look at this lineup from Team Spirit. They got Eclipse, they've got all the stuff that Earth Spirit brings, and then on LQ you've got like Rubik and Darkseer, which are sort of team fighters, but Venge doesn't really fit that role incredibly well. It's sort of an awkward spot where you boost up the damage, obviously, and there's a nice stun there. But if Team Spirit went for like some more team fight heroes in the next couple of picks, I feel like LQ could just get ran over.
Yeah. I wonder if they're even considering like an Oracle, just because if it is going to be a solo Darkseer, which it almost certainly seems it will be at this point, you could completely deny him with the Oracle. And then, as well as like the swaps and stuff, Oracle has decent range to get a false promise on either a Luna or a Lone Druid. And they just said, nope, you know what? How about
Dire
global range?
team pick.
And we'll just get Chen again. They're just like, they're not going to pick
Jeez.
Chen. They picked Earth Spirit. Who picks Earth Spirit and Chen? Those guys are way too greedy. Well, FNG does. So, well.
Jeez. To me, this says let's dual lane, though, if you're LQ. Like, go at them.
10
Run at
seconds
them
remaining.
consistently, right?
I don't know. Creeps are pretty strong.
5 seconds
Chen.
remaining.
Maybe they can just, I don't know. They can just play like a poverty Chen who spends a little bit more time in
Reserve
lane, doesn't get
time.
the crazy levels, but also still fully denies you out. Like if Chen's just there,
Yeah.
can you really fight into them?
I guess maybe not. That's what I was expecting, though, is like, Earth Spirit and Chen roaming around trying to find kills. But I guess you're right that if he just picks up the big creep, and then that also denies out the experience that Darkseer can get from taking away those creeps from the jungle. Yeah, that could be pretty rough. That actually would kind of suck for LQ. What the hell did they do now? What's the backup plan?
They still have Shadow Fiend left in the mid lane. They want to build off of what minus armor they have. Thought the hero played pretty well for them. I think he's pretty strong right now. He works okay in combination with Darkseer. They could go for like a... No, well, that's not going to work, actually. If we have Sniper... Phew.
Yeah.
It ain't easy. Maybe they go back towards a different position 4 and run the Venge carry. Try and fight it a little bit earlier. Let's go
All
with
right.
Alk. A BZZ
Radiant
classic
team
up
back.
against him.
This seems reasonable. It's sort of like a get out of jail free card almost. Like, all right, let's just get Alchemist big. He'll take over the game. He'll be fine. I do really like that a lot more now if a Vengeful Spirit gets played in the core role, because being able to give away that Aghanim's late
10
game
seconds
could be
remaining.
quite strong.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely one of the best
5
eggs that
seconds
you don't
remaining.
buy, really. I've heard a lot of people talking about Alk up against Lone
Dire
Druid as
team
well.
ban.
Just saying that it's decent up against them. You're just so tanky. You can help close the gap on them. You have the concoction too in the later stages, and then the radiance and whatnot for your missed chance. Just overall, pretty solid hero up against the bear. A little bit of minus armor to help you bring
10
him down a little bit
seconds
faster too.
remaining.
What a guy. What a hero.
5
What a
seconds
time.
remaining.
LQ, they're going to try and do it. They ban out the Shadow Demon of their own so that LQ
Reserve
can't
time.
get it. That would have been an interesting look. What about Ricky? Is that something that could work?
Like a Darkseer Ricky.
Dire team
Yeah, I
pick.
think Lone Druid is just too fast though.
Okay.
If you try and like smoke cloud him, he'll just like run out of it. Seems obnoxious. They don't really have the best ways to keep him in it.
I guess that it's also just going to be a heavy push, so maybe they need something like a coddle to
10 seconds
pressure the
remaining.
waves out. I don't know.
5 seconds remaining.
Very tough.
Yeah, it's hard to decide exactly if you want to still go
10
for this Venge
seconds
core, if they
remaining.
want to go back in towards something else.
There's no real
Tough call
5
here for
seconds
LQ.
remaining.
There's really not a one hero that answers it all. Maybe
Enchantress.
okay.
All right, interesting.
Radiant team picked.
So we'll have our enchant up against the Chen, can grab a couple creeps. We already know what the Helm too. There are a ton of creeps coming from this strategy. I think I've seen it somewhere before. Looks so familiar. It's almost like we just saw it last game.
Yeah.
And it worked pretty damn well. So we'll see if
10
this will be
seconds
enough here.
remaining.
So Venge Core can fight early. Rubik, decent
5
at the beginning,
seconds
just
remaining.
needs level 6 and he can be very relevant. Enchantress needs a little bit going. I find
10
Enchantress struggles a
seconds
lot with
remaining.
that little mid-game phase. Like, if she snowballs super hard, like FNG did
5
last game, maybe she can get
seconds
Dragon
remaining.
Lance, get a couple more kills, and get into that next item, be it just like an urn or even going straight for the Aghanim Scepter. But Clockwork is brutal against Enchantress. Really do not want to get caught in there as Enchantress. He can't do anything, and he has plenty of magic damage to help deal with her too.
Well, that's going to do it as far as the picks go. Team Spirit finish off their draft with a Clockwork, and to me, it feels like LQ's draft is just sort of throwing things at the wall to see what sticks a little bit. There's still like a lot of synergy in parts of it, but it's also very kind of just like responding to what Team Spirit are doing. I think they have a chance, and I think that Alchemist is still just one of the most insanely good heroes in this game, to the point where he could just take over and win. But how are you feeling about it right now? It's game number 2. Can they pull it back? We're going to go to a game number 3.
I would
seconds
say
remaining.
less likely. I think the Team Spirit draft is even stronger than their first game draft. It looks more successful. Seeing FNG dominate on that Chen, if he can do that again, this game will likely just be over. There's some synergy for LQ where you have the minus armor from the Venge as well as the Alchemist, but really it's probably not going to be that relevant. They don't have the most physical damage to stack on top of it. It's just from those two heroes themselves. They don't have a vacuum combination unless they're going to Centaur Stomp from an Enchantress creep. There's really nothing else. They don't have a good Iron Shell hero besides the Alchemist, and he probably won't be joining the earliest fights.
It almost makes me wonder if maybe LQ are going to go for some type of an early push draft with like Alchemist going for a Blink or Shadowblade or something and trying to get involved early. We've seen more of that in some professional games where it's Alx trying to go for battle builds.
Yeah, like the Armlet. I've seen SNY a couple times in South America, although not too many people building that item anymore. Something along those lines. We'll have to see. Certainly going to need that D push early on from the Acid Spray, which would be very helpful. Acid Spray, Fade Bolt. Sadly, that's about it. The counter push, kind of risky. Like, if Enchantress is trying to get things done in the other lane, maybe she doesn't join because she's just got some creeps and she's trying to pressure while they hold back. They could just, like, TP in the Clockwork. DK Phobos just waits and waits and waits, then just goes for a hook shot, and the rotations come through. Speaking of which, DK Phobos already getting started.
Oh, no. That, yeah, well, that's why you don't walk uphill there. And, well, the Rubik, he's naturally a good answer to the Clockwork oftentimes, but doesn't end up being at that time. Very unfortunate. Tell me a little bit about this matchup of Chen versus Enchantress. What should we be on the lookout for? What's the sort of biggest deal?
Hot potato creeps.
Okay.
The battle
That's pretty much it, right?
begins.
Enchantress, the enchant gets a decent cooldown. 30 seconds, 24, 18, 12. And then Chen. Typically, your Enchantress is the one that ends up being like the responder for the most part. She can obviously have more creeps right off the bat, so she's a little bit more effective early. She can grab one creep, wait a bit, grab her second one, and then rotate in for a gank. She's really good with Mud Golems, too. You can like set up this play where they expire right after the stun, and then you get the next couple stuns, too. They can just be like a solo 4-man gank almost. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But they're just going to be trying to play their little game as that ward gets spotted out here. Sunlight comes in trying to be sneaky, but they already have one down in the Radiant. So that'll pester Lalvik's rotations.
And unfortunately, Log picks up a Wildwing Ripper. Normally can be kind of effective for pushing and applying a base amount of harassment, but early on you want to be able to get creeps that actually do stuff. And I guess you could throw out the Tornado, which is kind of decent. Or do you think that you need to just sort of try and find another one if you're Enchantress now?
Generally when you get the Wild Wing Ripper first, you want to look for a stack and then farm it up. I'm not sure what happened here, but he didn't end up getting it. Okay, so he's gonna go for the second one. He's gonna go for a Purge creep and use that smoke to try and get the play. Now, knowing that the ward, well, I guess she doesn't really know the ward's there, but this kind of deceptively makes Iceberg feel safer than he actually is because of this ward being here.
Okay, well, here's the rotation in. They have the Purge, going to get the slow, but immediately running them away. Savage Roar, pretty good spell. Still the Tornado chasing after the right clicks, and Iceberg is going to go down. That Purge creep, too freaking good.
I wasn't fond of you.
Not able to kill it off fast enough. Very nicely done. That's so funny. Like, the ward actually killed him there.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah.
If he didn't have that ward, he might have been playing safer.
And now Chen is going to come in and try and mess around with Lolic a little bit. They will be able to get the creep taken back again, so well, very frustrating, I'm sure. And doesn't even end up... I think he was able to break the Clarity, or the Clarity expired on Enchantress, so she's going to be full mana and still causing issues.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and while we've been paying attention to that, the side lanes have seen a couple rotations. Bottom lane, speaking of which, blow your brain.
It's just coming back
Dogs
out.
and Flare.
That is a problem. The damage is going to be coming out. Oh, he woke through the creeps, but, well, is going to end up being able to walk out. It was a little sketchy there because he broke through the cogs, but was still blocked by the trees.
Nice little save there from Sunlight. So what we saw was they went with an aggro try, which makes sense when you're running a greedier support duo like Earth Spirit and Chen. You want to try and pressure in onto the Luna and try and force her out, but now that they've actually rotated DK Phobos to the bottom lane and they sent Luna up top here, BZZ actually pretty safe position right now. He's farming near his tower, he's a shrine up and available, and a pretty happy Luna.
We'll be a little bit pressured here by Funnick, who's trying to cause some harm with his Dark Seer, but it shouldn't be too easy for him to make a lot of pressure here for BZZ, who's going to get most of these creeps underway. But the whole time,
Yeah, it's
Vance
a smart play too, just because Chen is a creep that can't rotate with TPs. Like, you have to actually walk, right? Because your creeps can't come with you.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for them to respond to Funnick's pressure here.
That being
Getting a
said,
little greedy now, though. He's been doing it for quite a while, and the walk has come.
they're making it.
Oh, very greedy.
Well, Lucent Beam connects, damage coming in. They have the penance as well, able to hit the long-range shot from that shockwave. Satyr Tormentor, they find the kill.
All right, rotation secured. He got the heroes over, I guess. Pressured up there and has himself a soul ring, but that's a little bit given away on that one from Funnick. Bottom lane, they're trying to make the same rotation through here, but Sunlight can't quite get the grab.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. They're going to pull him back in. The clap is going to connect, and, well, DK Phobos is going to drop. They lost the Satyr Tormentor at the end there, but it didn't matter. They still had enough. They find that kill. A lot of early rotations here.
That's good, though. This was what was it, like almost 6-0 at one point last game on the side of Team Spirit. So already 2-2, things looking a lot more even. Lolic even going to get a little bit of farm here with the Centaur before it dissipates.
And the big
Or
thing,
rather the Pellbear.
the big thing too that you can see is that it's Funnick almost dead. It's down to 18 HP. I think that he is going to end up falling here. There's no way out, and yeah, they end up taking that kill. So the thing I was going to mention is that you can see the CS at least. It feels a lot more even across the board for LQ, and this Enchantress is going to be a force to be reckoned with as the game goes on. Already having a really good start.
Yeah, and it's meant FNG hasn't been able to rotate mid either. Just all the pressure top from Funnick and then the pressure bottom from Lolic means that Scandal's left alone. You can actually have a chance to farm up this game. It's not getting ganked nonstop, and he'll be a rather happy Alchemist. He doesn't have any stacks going. He's already cleared out one of his camps, but it's not too bad. Stacks aren't really the biggest concern these days anyway with the new 2-minute spawn.
Yeah, they're sort of the cherry on top, and well, they're already having a really good time. As the game goes on, we get towards that mid game. How do you feel about the two sides facing off against each other? Is there one team that you feel like maybe has a bit of an easier time going in towards the fights we're going to see?
Yeah, I'd be looking towards Team Spirit for sure. Chen definitely starts to outpace Enchantress at that point in terms of like the creeps and everything, because he just has 3. Like right now, FNG's already got 3 points up in a Holy Persuasion. Doing a great job so far, already level 5. He's like more experience right now than the Darkseer, so he's gonna be able to apply a lot more pressure. He Funnick tries to be all cute, like eye and shell the enemy creep, and FG's like, dude, I am like way too good for this. Come on. You think he's gonna micro around or something to kill those creeps? I don't know. That's really stupid to me.
Yeah, he ends up taking it down, but a little bit questionable. It's fine, I'm sure.
Anyway, so the tower goes down. Turns out that play didn't work, but the combination of FNG just having these 3 creeps always at the ready, and the fact that DK Phobos is going to have his hook shot soon. So we're going to be looking towards him to really set things off for them. The mobility of a Clockwork and Vanscore here on this Earth Spirit, very strong. Don't really have the same thing with LQ. They're going to play very reactionary, looking for a Darkseer that's not farmed enough to have anything close to a mechanism, which means the pressure is going to be difficult to deal with. He doesn't have a lot of turnaround potential, and he doesn't even have the levels for Vacuum Wall. He's still 6 here and holding to see if he can maybe get himself up to 7 or 8 there and actually get to wall.
Oh, they found Blow Your Brain, and, well, catch him in the cogs. A lot of damage being dealt out. Battery Assault as well, and they actually might be able to kill off DK Phobos before they're able to get the kill into Blow Your Brain. Still dropping low. They bring in the Chain Lightning Creep. You thought you were ganking me. Think again. Blow Your Brain takes the kills.
So good for them right there. That would have helped Clockwork get to 6. He could have just been home and then right out going for another hookshot gank. And that likely would have been Alchemist they'd be hunting for. And that just gets totally neutered.
Attack.
So now 3 to 4. Iceberg's been given some space in the mid lane now thanks to those kills. Vanscore's rotates in.
Well, I was thinking about the way that these next couple of fights are going to end up working out, and one thing I've been noticing, Earth Spirit's been pretty heavily underleveled so far, only level 3, and doesn't look to be going up that much further. They're going to go on to Funnick over here to the side. The battle is still going on for DK Phobos. It looks like they are going to be able to bring down Funnick as Vanscore is going to run him down. Lolik takes down DK Phobos, so multiple kills all across the map, and now it looks like just a 1-for-1 trade with the offlaners.
Yeah, it's probably, again, though, those kills, they are still giving space to Iceberg. Like, they just keep killing this Clockwork, and Iceberg's all right, well, at least I'm getting mid-tower. It's still a win for sure for LQ, but at least Iceberg, he is abusing it. Using the power of the Lone Druid. Himself phase boots, ridiculously speedy. Well, when they're not activated, he is 462. When he activates them, 536 at 8 minutes. That's faster than haste runes were pre 7.0. That's so insane.
Yeah, this hero is crazy, and
it's actually so stupid. Look at him go. He's like top lane already. You look away for a second, he's like TPing.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. He's so quick, and like the survivability the bear offers as well. And tier 2 tower is down there in the top lane. It looks like LQ are getting set up and trying to bait out this Alchemist. We'll see if Team Spirit realize that something fishy is going on. They back out, Invis rune popped, and it looks like that's going to be the end of it. Don't want to overstep their bounds. But might run into FNG. Sunlight spotting him. Instead, it's Lone Druid in the mid lane. They have the swap back. There's the... No, they don't get the stun off. And the rest of the team went off to the side for the Chen, so a little bit of miscommunication going on between LQ as to who they're prioritizing.
Yeah. Despite his last hits, Blow Your Brain's pretty poor. I mean, it's getting a little bit better now, I suppose, but like I'm surprised 1-0-3, and he's still 700 gold behind this Luna. Plenty of last hits too. He's only like 4 shy, but he's not really close to the Helm. I guess now he'll at least get into his Gloves of Haste. I assume he'll go Helm. And we'll have basically battle of the creep armies this game between Enchantress, Venge, and then Chen Luna.
Yeah. I mean, it's good and all for them to be able to take him down and kill off the creeps, definitely. But it feels like, you know, the higher priority kill might have been the other. As DK Phobos is going to try and run down Scandal. This feels rather bold. I guess with Iceberg showing up, though, it might be able to be enough. Nice. Just gonna back out.
There's like no way you get that kill with the armlet up. Maybe he was hoping the ulti was off cooldown. That could have been, or rather on cooldown, I suppose. Maybe it would have been possible then.
Well, Scandal gonna go pick up the bounty runes around the map. Make sure that he can continue to accelerate his farm. Is still ways away from his Radiance, but the rest of his team is making space for himself. Considering how heavily push-oriented this Team Spirit draft is, they have not been able to take down as many towers as I would have imagined. Tier 1's still in the bottom lane as well as the Tier 2 mid. Top lane's just where the majority of that pressure's been applied.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's 10.5 minutes. They've done quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That whole top lane, that mid Tier 1.
I guess I'm comparing it to how bad it went last time, which
that's
was
true. Yeah, I'll
awful.
give you that one. Yeah, that's pretty painful. Well, now Iceberg's just running at you. What do you do with this? Look at this hero.
Oh, God. Yeah, that hurts. That's a lot of damage. Sunlight drops. And,
look at the range. Look at him attack this creep.
Oh, my God.
sniper? Nice deny. Yo, Lolic. Sick plays.
Oh, hook and over to the side. They found him. Well,
He doesn't have untouchable.
deny comes at a cost. No untouchable points at this point for the Enchantress. They found Funnick as well. The silence, the eclipse, it all comes out. They get that kill as well. All right, well, I was just talking about how things weren't so terrible for LQ, and now Team Spirit are grouping up, and it is just really tough for them to make this work.
Yeah, definitely a riskier build here, I would say, from the Enchantress. Opting for, you're gonna, like, I understand, by leveling up Enchant, you're gonna have a lower cooldown there, so you can apply more pressure with a bunch of creeps and try and fight that way. A lot of the damage from Team Spirit is magical anyway. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. Like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna stop Glaives with Untouchable. They're just gonna target someone else. They're gonna bounce on you. So the value of it is relatively low, but we're also not really seeing the value out of the Hero Slow or the Enchants coming out from Lolic.
God, that was so close to a kill onto Iceberg, but Savage Roar again just causing issues, and now he's back up to full HP again, and he's gonna.
Now that's where you get
Sunlight.
a root. That's what happens here, right?
Possibly. Over to the side, they're chasing Funnick, looking for it. Sunlight getting ran down. Right clicks a bound. It is going to find that kill. Oh,
don't need
God. What a freaking hero. Look at this guy run. This is absurd. In the meantime, they weren't able to kill off Darkseer, but the pressure is going to be mounted in this bottom lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Something
attack.
else, man. Doesn't even have his Maelstrom yet. That's what Rubik just had the stolen rabbit and was like, oh yeah, I'm fast too. Should be fine. Not so much.
Is he going to kill off Scandal here? They're looking for a root. Is going to be able to find it. Scandal. On the other side, there's a battle going on. They are going to end up getting the stun, and that's going to be the Armlet toggle for the win. It doesn't look like they were able to find a kill on anybody except for the Venge. Now the vacuum back onto Iceberg. 2 caught for the moment. They're trying to finish him off. The chase continues, but Lolic not able to do it. They have the Purge creep now as well. That's going to slow him down. Oh, no. Lolic is going to drop double now for BZZ, and everything's starting to fall apart for LQ.
Dire's bottom tower is
That
under
range
attack.
is actually absurd. I wonder if that was part of their idea with the Enchantress too, was that they were hoping that they could utilize the, like, abuse the fact Lone Druid's trying to be so far away. Like, if he turned and threw an impetus there, maybe it would do enough damage, but Iceberg's so fast he could just, like, walk towards her as it's, like, coming at him and probably negate the chances of that even working.
Has fallen.
It's nuts.
Yeah, that was a nice play as well, though. I want to say, Iceberg, yeah, you're playing the mega OP hero, but pretty skilled there. Opting, when he almost had that kill on Scandal, he waited till he was really low before he went for that fear play, try and stop him from going for the armlet toggle, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, that is a rather nice little piece of it, as well as being able to play around that. And I was wondering if it was going to be quite enough time where Alk would have ended up stunning himself too, but it didn't look like that was going to happen. Now time to pressure tier 2 bottom.
Is that it? Oh no, we still have the tier 2 mid. Okay, close one.
Radiant's top
it's
tower
not
is
That one
under
pretty
attack.
scary. No, it's really not.
Dire's bottom
The
tower
Radiance
is
must be
under
close
attack.
though. 4,400, so almost there.
Yeah, and that is when things start to turn around again. If they still hold high ground when Alk has Radiance, how much does that sort of scare Team
Radiant's
Spirit?
top tower
I
is
think you
under
need a
attack.
tier 2 with that Radiance. If you
Dire's
don't have a tier
bottom
2 left, I
tower
think this
has
game's
fallen.
over.
Okay.
Like, they need the tier 2 because they need their shrines to at least have some presence around this map. Be able to respond to ganks if DK Phobos went for something. If you don't have your shrines, you don't have control over your jungle, you don't have any sort of assistance that can come from your allies, you don't have any way for Enchanters to at least try and grab some creeps to maybe fight back. And the Roche should be the side of Team Spirits now. The fact they're getting this before the Radiance is brutal. It just comes up now. Get the 1350 for the recipe. And that Flare will even spot them. Roche, or rather doing the Ancients.
Phobos does also have a hook shot if he wants to use it in the next little engagement that comes following this. But yeah, Elk Radiance online. I've also been seeing Chen pick up a couple of these little creeps for the aura, the cloak aura, an extra 5% on top of it. Not bad.
Fallen to the Radiant.
Immortality.
For the creeps at least. Or rather heroes, excuse me. 20% for creeps. Wow, that's going to be making high ground a hell of a lot better.
Pretty damn good.
If I'm not mistaken, that does stack fully with each other, right?
Yeah, the cloak auras?
Yeah. As I ended up missing a kill up in the top lane. They take down the Enchantress.
is under
Nice,
attack.
quick and easy one. No hook shot necessary. He also has a veil, by the
sick
way.
build. Yeah, that is awesome. Oh, what a cool build. Makes sense. Get a little bit of armor from Minus Armor.
Oh, Scandal, no, not like this. Oh, the stun. He's just going to end up dropping. And, well, that was the Radiance. Now they've also found Blow Your Brain. The slowdown, the catch. Can they get it? Vanscore looking for the kick. Isn't going to be able to find it as the haste rune. Just a little bit too much to catch Venge. Oh, maybe. Never mind. Iceberg is on the hunt. Trying to catch up Blow Your Brain. Not going to happen.
Meanwhile, F&G just ditches that party.
Dire's middle tower is under
I think I'm going to go get a tower, guys.
I mean, if he wanted to, you could just go for, like, max Cloak Auras in this, and your Creep Wave would never die from Alchemist Radiance. I don't know if it's good. It's something they could do.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, I'm sure it's already going to be pretty damn good. Like, they can't even burst down the waves that easily. Between the armor auras
Radiant's
and whatnot.
bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, actually, they don't have a mech yet today, so I guess no armor aura quite yet. FNG, we'll see if he gets greedy. Goes for anything bigger than a mechanism, but at this point,
It's like
oh, he's going to go
Vlad's.
for the Vlads. Talking of armor auras, perfect.
Oh, Vanscore throws out a stun, and connects on a Blow Your Brain, silence onto a couple, and well, there's the rollout for the moment, but they're going to
Just
leave
goes
the creeps
back
here.
in.
They do not quite finish it off. They're still controlling everybody here. It's Iceberg getting very big for his britches. The vacuum back into him and is going to end up dropping. So a bit of a turnaround now. Team Spirit maybe a bit too far afoot. BZZ also going to be controlled. They drop the wall onto him. Aegis now down, and Scandal might be able to run him down. Looks like for the moment they're just going to be content with the kill onto BZZ as he is going to be finally brought down. Well, denied. No, not going to happen.
Phobos goofed that fight majorly. He was down here by this camp, and that whole thing was supposed to be kickstarted by him hookshotting in this way, on this angle, and he hooked these creeps.
Oh.
So that's why there's suddenly just like a Luna and a Lone Druid with no one in between them. If he gets hooked in there and he gets the cogs online, everyone is just dead, because there's no way you get to that Lone Druid. He kills everyone, and you lose.
Radiant
So
structures
a little bit of a
are
mistake,
fortified.
but capitalization there from LQ will result in them getting a tower in the mid lane.
That is something they desperately need. And also more space for Alchemist to farm,
Radiant's
honestly.
middle
He's going to have his
tower
boots of
has
travel
fallen.
up soon. And this is at least the path to
Radiant's top
getting back
tower
into
is
this
under
one.
attack.
Still very, very long road ahead. How do you see the next couple of minutes playing out for each of these teams?
Well, the fact
Radiant's
that
top tower
I
is
guess they
under
get those
attack.
kills now means that at least they'll keep one shrine, but they did get the shrine. So it's still difficult to stay out on the map right now as LQ. They have to be very scared of our clockwork. DK Phobos does have his blade mail now online. Boots of travel are there from Scandal. Maybe that'll help him get up towards that Manta. You can keep it going from there. Perhaps life will be good enough, but what's the end game scaling here for LQ? You're up against Lone Druid and Luna, as well as the global presence of
Radiant
a Clockwork,
structures are
like that
fortified.
massive range that he has, as well as the range of an
Radiant's
Earth
top
Spirit.
tower
Vance
is
here to
under
follow
attack.
up, who's also building into a Blink Dagger, which just means that taking control of this map still leaves you pretty vulnerable to the massive reach that comes from all of Team Spirit, on top of the fact that you have a Lone Druid that hits from like a billion miles away and scales
Oh.
ruthlessly.
Tower is under attack.
They do walk uphill into Vanscore. Still a lot of damage being dealt with that Magnetize, but the swap back in, Blow Your Brain. They find another kill now into BZZ. So everything not looking amazing at this point. Let's drop down some cogs. I think that they were underneath a ward or something when that smoke happened. It looked like they just caught the edge of it maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's this ward in here. They're just goofing. They're not all together. They're like not playing to the advantage that they have and giving a little bit away here. It's steep decline in the overall net worth as well, from 7,500 now coming down to closer to like 4 or even 3K. And items will start popping up here on the Dire side. We got a blink on our Rubik. Okay, we do have Mjolnir on Lone Druid. That's kind of scary. But we'll eventually have a Hurricane Pike as well here for Lolok, which should help him not only close the gap on some people, but even possibly snipe away on that Lone Druid. Outrange the Lone Druid. It can be done.
Oh my god. That sounds pretty insane. And also, you mentioned earlier, the impetus will make a pretty big difference. It's sort of, like you were saying, that extra little way to deal with his massive movement speed is played against him.
Yeah. The problem is they don't have any way to keep vision on Iceberg.
Right.
They don't have like a slider or something. So if you try and go for this massive range as Lolok, he's just going to like run behind a tree, and then you won't even be able to get off your bonus attacks. It's a little disappointing. They'll have to like wave a terror over him or something.
Well, it's getting closer and closer to that mana style for Scandal, and this is where things do become more terrifying. DK Phobos, of course, Blade Mail there, as well as the Veil. It's a lot of items that are built towards like ending the game right now, it feels like. With the exception, obviously, of Iceberg and Luna, but we'll have to watch this very carefully over the next few minutes. If you're LQ, what's the sort of way that you go about this? Who's your dream initiation target? Oh, they might just run an advance score, actually. Lift, swap, something? Hello? They get the silence onto two of them. All right. Weird. Fine. Just right-click each other. Do it. In the mid lane, they are going on to Lulik, and
Top lane Scandal.
they are actually not going to be able to kill off DK Phobos, who does have that Blade Mail already activated. Scandal is not going to die here as they find the kill in the mid lane. So, battle's going on all over the place. Very weird movement by Team Spirit.
Okay, well, they closed out that shrine. So, we're getting there. Probably going to start looking towards Vision and Pressure as Scandal again gets caught here, the Fear this time. Not going to, nope, cocked himself. Not going to go for kill thanks to the backup here.
Well, they vacuum back in. Iceberg swapping him. That's a dead lone druid. Team Spirit are not looking super slick right now. What's what's happening?
They're like crumbling until next Roche or something.
Okay. I'm
Like, they're trying to abuse the map with a lone druid. This is what we see everyone do with this hero because they just, like, oh, I'm invincible because I can just call people and Savage Roar myself. And he was invincible, but he got a little bit too greedy. Now, nice hook shot, though, from DK Phobos.
they are going to
find
be
this
able to
kill
pop
on
the
Scandal.
Manta right away. And yeah, no way out. So he bought his Manta style at the very least before he died, but this might be the time to go if you're Team Spirit.
Yeah, as well as the fact that, like, that's what closing down the shrines does. That just means that if you're anywhere in here, you're just dead if you're caught by DK Phobos. There's no TP rotations. There's no Venge, Swap, or Save unless they're all together. Definitely the moment they're waiting for. And that was the last time, likely, that you're going to kill this lone druid and not see him right away again, as he is level 17. By the time he's 20, he gets the absolutely absurd and will be nerfed minus 50 respawn reduction. There's no way that stays if this guy keeps being lonely druid with no requirements of spare.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this as well. All getting some damage out there. And Rubik. Oh, Rubik stole Holy Persuasion. That's pretty good. As if they can somehow manage to survive this push. Can also send the creeps back at each other really effectively. And taking back over those.
Nice. Gets catapult.
That's a great spell to steal. My goodness.
Like, saved his own catapult from being stolen by this gen. Yeah, that's pretty handy one. The Radiant... Oh, they're scanning. Alright. Interesting scan. I guess they thought maybe they were fully chasing.
That's a possibility.
We'll take that.
Okay, well, tower down. And now we wait for Roche. That'll leave this pretty wide open.
My thrift rewarded.
Yeah. I'm feeling like LQ are pulling themselves back into us. And, what we talked about, the sort of not great late game of LQ, it does feel like with the Alchemist, it kind of changes that back over a bit more into their favor. I don't know, would you be worried at this point if you're Team Spirit about actually closing out this game?
I'd maybe be a little concerned if I didn't get the next Roche.
Okay.
If it got stolen from me and snuck out, then I'd have to start considering, like, okay, guys, like, whoa, slow down. What is our game plan right now? What are we doing? Like, do we need to be smoking right now? Because right now they're not considering, like, team tactical objectives. It's more just individual efforts of, oh, I'm going to go farm bottom. Okay, I'm going to push top. It's not like, okay, we need to smoke up and find these bastards.
Radiant's bottom
Right now it's
under attack.
token up here on the dire side.
Yeah, speaking of farming bottom, they jump in, immediately take down FNG, and, well, BZZ is here as well. This is not looking like it could be very good. They pop the immediate BKB, the Eclipse down as well on a Funnick. Lots of damage going in. It looks like Bullybrain able to escape from the cogs for the moment, but still silenced up, and Scandal in the midst of all of them running down Iceberg. Can they get the kill? Oh, the catch with that Earth Spirit able to keep alive the lone druid. That was so close to being completely disastrous. Still, though, they lose their Luna and the Chen, and Roche is going to be back up now.
Radiant's bottom
Man,
tower
that
is
Holy
under
Persuasion
attack.
actually just did so much work. All the stolen creeps, thanks to Sunlight. They really tanked up that Eclipse. Didn't have a big impact there, so the BKB massive fight-winning moment there from Luna never really came. Gold gets handed over, a tower is gone, items purchased from the Dire. And now Roche again comes back to this big question mark.
Yeah, this is a very, very scary moment for Team Spirit, and they've been looking good in the previous one, looking good all game early on, and this ticking time bomb of an Alchemist. I mean, it's not as insane as it was before, but the hero can get out of control. And now with no Eclipse, I mean, can they go and contest Roche if we just see LQ move into there?
Yeah, I don't think Eclipse really matters. I mean, look at this Lone Druid, dude.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Like, he almost killed that guy.
And still might almost. Right, there's the blink away. That was scary.
Nice surge there from from Phonic rather. Saved the day. See if they want to smoke up and get aggressive here. We have Hurricane Pike as well as Helm on our Revenge, so Blow Your Brain. Pretty beefy, pretty tanky. They're definitely grouping. And here it is, the Roche battle. Double catapults coming in here. We got some creeps. It is a party in the pit.
This is just the new game now. You see these little creeps running at each other all the time, and it's all that happens.
I think it's nice to see Dota really come back to its roots, you know. Much more of an RTS game.
There you go.
So much micro you need across the map. You get this big army. Everyone gets a secondary creep.
Preaching the choir here. I love that stuff. And plus side, it makes Boots of Travel all the better as well, who, you know, the Alchemists can get into the fight now if they need to. So they kind of don't need to be that worried about it. Rubik has run out of Holy Persuasion, unfortunately. But if we're starting to think, when is the point where Aghanim Scepters start coming out? We're still a long ways off, right?
Yeah, we still need that next item. Looks like the Shiva's Guard, very, very, very good this game. Luna, Lone Druid, as well as all the Chen creeps, even just the Clockwork. This is a sick game for Shiva's Guard. It's also always mega value whenever you have Octarine Core. Used to be always the split between AC and Shiva's Guard. It was kind of like 50-50. At this point, I would say it's more like 70-30. I think the cooldown, the reduction on Shiva's Guard, the fact that that's not something that you get when you have an AC, just unless it's like massively needed from the physical damage, the Shiva's Guard is almost always going to be better and more beneficial for your team. And as you point out, that Boots of Travel fact is actually really big for this kind of a game time where we end up with this big Roche fight where everyone's just kind of sitting around Roche, waiting for one person to commit, so then they can punish all their AoE spells. No one can abuse that right now on the Radiant side. Whereas all these Helm creeps, as long as they aren't able to like kill the creep scandals coming in on, he will be there for that fight. And meanwhile, he's going to be gaining gold this entire time. So delaying this, favoring the Dire for sure.
Yeah, it's sort of, I mean, Alchemist is good as at impersonating heroes. He used to impersonate Naga, now he's impersonating Spectre. Just being able to farm across the map while all the other stuff is going on.
That's right. There you go. The downside, I would say, for LQ, though, is they didn't opt for a blink onto Phonic. He's gone for a much more defensive build. He went mech and pipe, which is great. He's super tanky and definitely helping out during these eclipses. Going to help the armies that were there from the Enchantress and Sunlight losing out on his Holy Persuasion means he doesn't have his own army this time. But not being able to blink into the pit could really hurt him here. Not sure how they're going to be able to initiate without the Snoop Spirit just leaving.
Have to keep our eyes on it, checking through the talents. There's not a whole lot that's super unexpected, at least as of now. Kind of curious to see if the Enchantress goes for the max heal ones, but getting in position now to come and fight this. They have the Alchemist who's showing up, taking down Roshan. Quick bit of damage, a nice Clockwork Hook to start all this off. He pops his Blade Mail, and a big silence and the stun from Vanscore has just been doing a fabulous job so far on this Earth Spirit. They're going to chase down Scandal, ends up stunning himself with the Savage Roar, controlling him. Octarine Core still working to give him that little bit of regen, and now Sunlight makes a little bit of a play with his own. He is going to end up paying for that one as he gets brought down by Iceberg, and Vanscore also maybe going to overstay his welcome as he gets taken down. But
man, Blow Your Brain he held his swap that whole time through that fight. I wasn't sure if he was going to try and swap out Phonic maybe and then allow the mech and whatnot to do work. I guess he just popped it for himself, but rough. Good choice by BZ as well, just leave the pit and going towards that fight. And DK Phobos kicking that whole thing off. I think he was just going in to try and disrupt to let his team finish Roche, and then suddenly with Vanscore coming, he's like, wait a second, we just like kill Phonic right now. And then the whole fight became very easy.
Is under attack.
Oh, and you can see that this is, you need to sort of get whatever you can. They go back in, try to contest Roche again, but Scandal immediately TPing bottom, pressuring out the lanes, and going to farm the jungle as well. So I feel like it's okay that they didn't get that Roche, whereas for Team Spirit, they sort of had to do it. And I'm wondering if this switch back is going to continue where the game continues to go into LQ's favor.
Perhaps. The MKB is coming in for Iceberg. I don't know if they're going to end up waiting for that, but more than likely they're just going to try and push in mid with this Aegis. I still feel pretty good about Team Spirit.
Okay.
I think they're still on top for now. Look at that net worth too. Like they got a nice little block up there near the top. Sure, Alk is up there for sure, but
Yeah.
you know, that Chen very rich, even up above his own Clockwork now.
It's sort of like, I feel like there's this two just really huge factors in this game. Lone Druid is just absurd, but so too is Alchemist. And every time I see this here, I don't think I've seen an Alk game where he's lost in like 3 weeks or something crazy like that.
Yeah. Wasn't he like 70-some% win rate in Star
He had an 87% win rate by the end of it. 87%. Like, what?
Pretty good.
But maybe this is the game. Team Spirit certainly have the tools with which to make it happen.
For now, I like this. Scandal chilling around with his friends. And it'll be a 5-man commitment top. Lawyer Brain waddles himself over there, but likewise down bottom. And certainly a little bit faster here from the Radiant. Oh, this is a play. DK Phobos is going to look for some TP cancels here. So
Okay.
he wants to see them all show,
Dire's
but they're not
bottom
going to.
tower
Oh,
is
that
under
would have been
attack.
absolutely massive. They actually
Radiant's
committed that
top
tower. He's able to
tower is
cancel
under
some of them.
attack.
He does have eyes on Sunlight here, who's going to be going for the TP now. And I guess that's going to mean Team Spirit don't want to pressure the tower too much. So, at least for now, holding off. And you can see that, as far as LQ are concerned, they're going for this wave clear items. You've got yourself a Maelstrom picked up on the Vengeful Spirit.
I can't believe how disastrous that could. I was like so sad that play didn't happen because I would have been so hyped. He actually canceled like important TVs back to base. Yeah, I like the Maelstrom pickup. Just a little bit more help there. I mean, Scandal doesn't necessarily have to be there for them to push pretty fast. And quite a bit of armor as well here on the Radiant side, just from all these auras from the Chen. No pipe yet, so the magic damage will be a little bit more beneficial.
You can also tell now, Funnick going back for that aggressive item you were looking for before. Has his Blink Dagger done. Now, buyback
Really
status,
needed
they're not going to have it on anybody except for the Alchemist. So, one fight is what they get. And he's actually going to be going back for a BKB now, and to make sure he can stay alive in these engagements.
Yeah, can't really afford to be blocked out by cogs or anything. Make sure he can get in there. Beat his way through those things with that attack speed. Something else pretty good at, as long as he has BKB.
Oh, yeah.
Back when Clockwork was god tier and used
Radiant's
to pierce
bottom tower
the
is under
BKB and you could just
attack.
lane against lifestealers and laugh at them. Good times. Good times for Clockwork.
Yeah, that was not something that I would have wanted to face off against. I mean, the Aghanims here is also really good. Thinking about how the next couple of team fights can play out. Obviously, being able to initiate, cause that disruption that we saw like near the Roche pit. There's a TP away by the Earth Spirit. Does not want to run into an Alchemist in the jungle, but they're just giving him so much space and time. The plus side is that Lone Druid is also getting insane. And
Yeah.
the MKB is now done, as well as getting close to that buyback.
I really hope this game goes another like 7 or 8 minutes here so that I can see DK Phobos get an Octarine Cord, because that seems absolutely disgusting with a Veil and a Blade Mill, reducing those cooldowns plus all his spells and the lifesteal. Oh, that seems amazing.
Oh, well, he found one. Onto Below Your Brain, the pushback. They have the cogs to lift him out of it, and oh, maybe DK Phobos has overstepped his bounds a little bit. They are on top of him, though. Oh, and the bear chasing the right clicks almost brings down Vengeful Spirit. Blow Your Brain. Really low HP.
That's your carry.
God damn.
Does so much damage.
Iceberg, what a
Very
monster.
little commitment as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we must be close to this Aegis, and there it goes. So 344 until our next one.
Pretty
That's a
early
very early
time.
spawn.
Yeah. I still am thinking as well as this game goes on that for LQ, like Scandal running into the middle of them, the amount of damage that Lone Druid is now dealing is really becoming terrifying. And that's not to really even mention what Luna has going for herself. Is not a ton of DPS as of yet, but building towards that butterfly.
Smoke out play. Vanscore's going to find them all.
Oh, Sunlight can't jump to it in time. And now I think that they get out. Trying to surge forward. Funnick has a blink.
Iceberg's getting greedy.
Okay. Bear is there as well. Funnick vacuums onto the bear at the very least. Sunlight found Iceberg. They have a lift available if they want to use it. Saving it for the moment they turn to fight. Oh, Sunlight. It was never meant to be. Funnick also going to end up dropping. Oh, wow. All right. They weren't quite in position, and now he might just end up turning onto the rest of it. Switches over to bear form. Is going to be enough damage to bring him down. Oh, now the buyback. It looks like the rest of Team Spirit just going to try and TP out. They can't escape. Yeah. They're just going to be able to get out of there. Mid lane, the pressure's being mounted. BZZ turned upon. Gets the send back. He's going to survive through that. FNG. All right, they found Phobos at the very least. He is going to be the one that ends up paying for everybody else. And it ends up only being a range barracks.
Yeah, not a big deal at all. I would call that worth if I was LQ. Pretty happy with that. That was pretty scary up top, too. Gets that Lone Druid, that BKB. 10 seconds of glory there for Iceberg. Or rather 9, I suppose. That was the second one, it seems. But it took quite a bit, but able to bring him down. Again, I think that's totally fine with LQ. As long as that melee Rex can get a little bit of chance to regen up.
Yeah, they just need to make that extra little bit of time for themselves. It does look like Alchemist now is going to be going back for the AC, has it completed. And now fully 6 slotted. We'll see if he goes for the Moonshard or tries to get some more. Swap back in. Oh, Vanscore with the blink out as the swap came. Knew exactly what was going their way. And now, well, Iceberg is actually left alone. They missed the hook shot going into it. Funnick dropping low, but the vacuum wall, they get the Savage Roar to keep that separation. Meanwhile, the hook shot comes in from the stolen Rubik. DK Phobos starting to drop low to Scandal. The damage is coming out, but they get another Savage Roar running away. They decide they don't want to fight this anymore. Another good boulder smash comes out. It takes down 2 as Iceberg shows no mercy at all. Oh, man.
Yeah, and that's should be the death of this mid melee Rex almost for certain, if not more. They can probably just rotate bottom too. Darkseer knocked me back online. He's a huge part of their base defense. Scandal. Oh, okay. Phobos stalking. Oh, nice blocks. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Not going to be any sort of play here today, guys.
Well, barracks are gone, and now Team Spirit
Watch
moving
how
up
fast
to the other
Iceberg
side.
kills this tower. Should be disgusting.
Well, they pull back in 1, and they get the stun onto the illusions, but also take down the bear. So
Oh, there you go. Buyback forced.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
well, Team Spirit going back up. It's still not a huge lead, but this Lone Druid is really, really hard to deal with for anybody except for the Alchemist. And honestly, Alka's not even going to have the best time either.
Yeah, the AC is definitely a little bit more offensive, I would say, just in terms of he actually does get on the bear. He'll do a little bit more damage than if he had gone for Shiva's card, as well as trying to help his allies out with the armor. But it's still not easy.
Venge going back for her. BKB. Yeah, it's sort of a rough spot right now for Nauk because I don't even know if he can really turn into a great force to burst him down. Like, he has to get it with he has to be able to burst through the Lone Druid while his BKB is up, but also like avoid all of the rest of the control that's coming from Team Spirit, which is just so hard to do.
We'll take that.
I'm not even sure what Aghanims would be the most helpful for the dire side. Probably Sunlight, to be honest. He already has a Blink Dagger. They'll probably do more than giving it to Blow Your Brain. And they're already working on one for Lalek, who could be an option in terms of overall damage, trying to deal with this Lone Druid, but it's already committed 1,200 gold towards it. I think if you're looking to hand one over, I'd probably be going with Sunlight.
Blow Your Brain has a DD rune right now, but all of the rest of Team Spirit are there. Sunlight jumps forward and hits a hook shot onto a creep. Meanwhile, the hook shot onto Blow Your Brain might be able to get himself out of there. There's a 4-step backing away. FNG trying to TP out of there, or rather just make the escape, but it does look like they're going to be able to run him down. Iceberg, in the meantime, just dealing a ton of damage to the Rubik, who ended up getting Well, brought down the big man fight. It's not looking like it's going to end up happening. Scandal is just getting destroyed by Iceberg, continuing to run him around here, and well, finally trying to TP out, run away. It's not going to happen. He's going to be brought down. Double kill for Iceberg, and the hook shot back away from the rest of the side of LQ.
Get the gem.
Oh, man.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Oh, that's just Chen's gem being saved. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was like looking at that fight. I was just like, yeah, where's Iceberg during this fight? He's like off the screen, just throwing right clicks. And runs up mid here too, gonna try and pressure into another tower.
Oh god, look at this. 700 crits. And it's just not stopping.
Dire's top tower is
He has enough to go back for Daedalus now if he wants it, but well, maybe Funnet can do it. Vacuum back to no avail. You don't want to pick that fight.
They chase too. They know BKB's will be back up soon. And we're just heading towards Roche. Might not check it too soon, though. Again, it was a pretty early spawn. Phobos could be scanning out here every once in a while, though. As he continues to work it towards that Octarine.
Oh, and he's going to actually be able to do a decent way towards it. Arcane Rune picked up, so 8.4 second cooldown on hook shot. You could use that to farm here if you wanted to, honestly.
And Scandal is 150 gold away from Aghanims here, so we'll see who he hands off to. Not much point holding buyback for 6 minutes. You're definitely going to farm that back up by the time that comes around.
Is there anything you can swap out here, or do you think you go for a Moon Shard instead to just try and increase your ability to deal with stuff?
I would think that you would value Sunlight, assuming that he's a decent Rubik player, that you would get more value out of that. But okay, he's making an item swap here.
All right, going
Fair
for
enough.
KB.
And now he'll queue up the... oh, yeah, that's true, I guess. His BKB, the time is wearing down so much that he really needs to deal with the... We'll see.
I think that it's also just like Luna has the butterfly now. He needs to be able to kill her in the fight. You can see Iceberg, MKB, Daedalus, Mjolnir, Hurricane Pike. Oh man, he is really doing quite a lot of damage.
It's crazy. It's actually absurd how much damage you can build on this guy. He's just so elusive that BKB really is... It's like more than enough defensiveness for this hero. You get the Hurricane Pike, just ups your mobility even more than that one moment you actually get caught. You can't get a Savage Roar off, you just BKB. Hey, you know, he's just firing creeps up there, one-shotting them.
This tower is just gone. Just like that. They swap him back in. Pops the BKB. They run away. They're on top of Vanscore. Might be something. Scandal could look to chase this a bit further if they wanted. They got to be careful, though. The BKB is already down, so scary stuff. But they find one.
And, oh, he was holding the gem?
Okay. Is there anybody else that has it on Team Spirit right now? No, there isn't another gem, so... LQ managed to take the gem back as well as take down the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, it's actually pretty important for them. Just the fact that obviously they've been closed in pretty hard here. They don't have any shrines around the map. They don't have a mid-rax, so the vision is well reduced on their side. So there's our Aghanim Scepter now, and they looks like they're going to give it to Lolk anyway.
Huh.
Just value that damage.
All right.
Not the biggest deal that you went that much gold anyway. Like, it's been helping Lolk so far. And that's a lot of pressure. You're basically saying, okay, Enchantress, we believe in you. You are the one that can actually kill this damn lone druid. You're the one that can try and stop the slow siege they could go for. And when you look at the range, it does make quite a bit of sense. We'll be able to handle lone druid even from the low ground.
Quite
and
strong.
Maybe it's just Sunlight, like not enough spammable spells to steal this game. Might not feel like there's that much value, which there really isn't. There's no like Sand King. There's not really any fantastic stuns. You can't really make the most out of Earth Spirit's abilities.
Yeah.
I can understand why they're not really opting into it. I mean, really, what is there to steal now that I actually look? It would be pretty bad.
Like Eclipse, Hook Shot are big things.
Yeah, you basically like try and be Clockwork. You would just try and get all of his spells, which is, you know, pretty impossible in a team fight.
Holy Persuasion could be pretty good if he's able to take it again. Pick up Ancient Creeps. But that's also something where it's not exactly in a team fight. You need to be able to get it right then. Well, here we go. Pressure on the high ground as it's going to commence. Scandal is there, but the damage already dealing a lot there. Managed to catch Iceberg before he gets his BKB up. There's the vacuum wall. A ton of damage being dealt out, and Iceberg dropping low. He is going to die. Meanwhile, BZZ also taking the damage from Scandal. He's gone. Rubik's still eclipsed. This is going to be an Aghanim Scepter eclipsed. Vanscore is going to drop. It looks like Foamlet's going to drop. BZZ is well dead. The barracks die, but so does all of Team Spirit. What a swap right there into the immediate lift by the Rubik. Man, Sunlight making it work. You okay there? Hello? Did you die?
Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze.
Okay, no
Apologies.
problem.
Yeah, I died because his plays were so god tier from sunlight. So. Well done. They lose the Rax, though, which just means one left up against Lone Druid and Luna is super scary.
I said it was an Aghanim Scepter Eclipse. My bad. That was not an Aghanim
okay.
Scepter Eclipse. I thought that they gave it to him still. I'm losing my shit, people.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't blame you. Oh, that was a pretty
Radiant's
they fire their way
middle
back
tower
mid.
has fallen.
Really trying to get a buyback here.
I think
Maybe they
that,
can. I don't know. Oh, haha, fear later.
I don't know. This is looking quite strong. I mean, if they can get a buyback at the very least, they're not going to happen.
4 heroes is about 3 too many, I would say.
You want to believe, but it looks like they're going to be able to hold. Iceberg's still a terrifying monster of a hero. Can they get a swap back? No. So they need one more of those, right?
Yeah, well, so do Team Spirit, because one more of those means they get megas.
That's fair enough.
But at the very least, they took that tower down. Now the shrines are available here. Scandal, he has the buyback coming back in 35 seconds. And he's also working his way up to buyback and an Aghanim Scepter. Currently 21.66 on the surplus. So see if he can hand off a secondary one here. Is that a bear? A little chunk of gold. Nice. Who gets that? Lawlick does.
That's no bear for 45. And they are going to have Eclipse back off cooldown for Rubik again in a second here.
Will be a decent time to try a smoke play.
The coin of the realm.
They need a lot of stun to make it work, though. Just because the BKB will get popped from either BZZ or Iceberg, assuming those are the targets they would love to go on.
Well. And now we're getting close to the Octarine for Clockwork. I'm sort of wondering at this point, like right now for Team Spirit, is it just like bum rush the bottom lane time? Like, is Mega Creeps just basically a win at this stage?
Not necessarily, but you know, 90% chance,
Yeah.
I would say. Probably even higher than that, actually. It's probably even more so in a game like this, just because your other carry is still Avenge.
Right.
It'd be pretty over. There's a lot of effort down here for a good reason from Scandal. It's fully pushed out, but even top lane's just coming in. They can't just smoke out right now, which is really frustrating. And so Team Spirit will just fully abuse the map. Really no rush for them. As long as they see a single hero, they can feel relatively safe. As long as it's not just like Sunlight in the mid lane or something like that. And this is probably the best chance to smoke. They're just going to walk, though. Maybe they don't have any smokes left. Hard to tell. Blowy Ring, double force staff, rooted! Oh my god.
What? Oh, blow your brain.
Wow.
Feeling
So
his
there was
namesake
definitely
right
a double force staff wave swap play coming out right there. But Bear says no.
When a Chen gets an AC, that's how you know your game is going well.
Yeah, I would say that's okay. The counter AC coming out from your position 4 or 5. Who even knows this game? I guess he's a 4 with how much farm Vanscore's been getting.
You can see, though, a lot of respect still being paid by Team Secret right now to LQ. They don't want to end up throwing away any more advantage possible. But now, bottom lane going to get pressed in, and a giant Luna is building towards a Bloodthorn. It's going to be leading the charge. No Aegis this time, but still a long ways away for that's going to come up.
Yeah, quite a bit of backup now, too. A lot of that damage has been pumping into him, has been the physical, the Alchemist as well as the Venge. And so this AC will make quite a big difference. Still, though, no pipe, it looks like. It is being worked on here by Vanscore, so that Mjolnir are still doing quite a bit of work from Below Your Brain.
God, they got to find an answer to this real quick because your tower's dropping low. They swap back out Iceberg. They do get another lift onto him and starting to bring him low. Hand of God comes out. He is going to end up dropping. So they managed to find that one kill at the very least. Tower's still standing, and FNG also in trouble. A good stun comes out right at the end there. Do they have eyes on FNG? They are going to be able to run him down. They're looking for more over here. Funnick trying to chase, but looks like they are going to be able to run down FNG. So another press up to the high ground. Pressured back by LQ.
Well, Scandal has another Aghanims now, and he's going to have to give it over to Blow Your Brain because Rubik bought a point booster. So now we'll get our Venjax. Pretty strong, and yeah, another sick hold. Tower even living. And Roche. Oh, Funnick, just stay. Oh my God.
Oh my God, did he not spot
No,
that?
he's going to find it.
All right.
Oh, he got it.
There it is.
What are the chances? So they should be.
Scandal though.
Quite yet.
Bottom lane. The rest of the team is right over here. Can they kill him? Oh, hook shot in. All right, they get the stun, they get the silence, they get the damage out, and Scandal drop down.
They must have thought that was an illusion. I wasn't watching, but I wonder if that was the play that was just made.
Oh. It was kind of tough to tell. That must have been what they imagined there. And he has to buy back immediately.
So much for the feel-good times. So one more kill in the Scandal, and that's a very likely game, although they haven't done a very nice job of getting Iceberg in all these fights.
You can tell right now yeah, it's kind of weird. You would expect him to be able to get it off, but 5-second BKB, maybe a little bit afraid of getting caught at that position. Whatever the case, the status quo remains. Just this tower left, and they can keep sending illusions at it. There's not a whole lot they can do to stop it. Did Rubik really have to buy his own Ags?
Yeah,
what the hell?
They've had a falling out or something. I'm not sure.
That ain't right.
This will open up the final one for Funnick. Get that bonus damage on the Luna. Actually pretty sick this game.
Be quite good. So, Hand of God is there. So, still on cooldown for the moment. They take down the tower. This is where things get really scary. Iceberg hidden from the low ground. And they swap back out Iceberg. All right, BKB down. Blow Your Brain needs to escape from this one. He is dropping low. The hook shot comes in. It's going to contain. They find that kill, but Aghanim Scepter still doing stuff. They get the stun off onto one. The barracks are dropping so low so quickly. BZZ just hitting away, and, well, there's the Eclipse coming out from the Rubik. This time it is an Axe. Oh, the sendback's going to keep him alive, though. Iceberg maybe finally going to be controlled and killed off here. A Savage Roar means he's going to escape. Oh, no. Look at this guy. He's too quick. Lolic trying to chase down FNG, and they will be able to find that kill at the very least, but that is a tough one to swallow as, well, Gem on the ground and only the melee survives. Those two buybacks from LQ.
One step at a time. Slowly close out this bleeding game. But they're still living. LQ, yeah, it's costing buybacks, but the game's still on. Still looking for that last bit of hope. Still an Aegis to potentially steal away here as the dire side. But game is hard. We do have another Aghanim Scepter available, so Funnick should get stacked up here. Bottom lane, they're going for a TP play here. Double bots used on top of DK Phobos, and a quick pick nicely done onto Funnick, and that is no buyback.
Wow.
The big man himself.
Impressive stuff, and that really hurts now if you're LQ.
Well, you know, sometimes when you have 37,000 net worth, you can afford Moonshard and double bots on your Lone Druid.
Oh my god. Iceberg is a madman. Yeah, so he just passively is running at 531 now. That's a thing.
It's kind of ridiculous that he's been the one dying this whole time, too, and he's still so farmed. And, you know, 50-second respawn is the most ridiculous talent in the entire game, without question. I can't believe that's not
on
a balance patch yet.
Yeah.
I actually think it's the worst one in the whole game. I can't even think of one. Like, as worse as it.
Oh, well, Scandal now is going to get jumped upon, and BKB pop turns, tries to take down those cogs. He's going to get force-staffed out, but now the chase is going to continue. He is just gone. Iceberg is melting these heroes. They're all his for taking. Another kill going back that direction. Sunlight drops. Everybody's dead, and GG gets called. Iceberg takes no prisoners. Triple kill for him.
Radiant victory.
All right, game 2 wrapped up here by Team Spirit. Very nicely done. bad we didn't get more Dota today, but I gotta say, Game 2 was a lot better than Game 1. LQ had a couple bright moments between both games, honestly. I think the squad definitely has potential. Both these teams just really starting to get in the ball rolling here. All, I'm sure, with the focus onto Kiev for that CIS qualifier.
Well, that's going to do it here for us for our CIS qualifiers. Again, we're getting our sleep schedule switched over and ready for all this wonderful action from the DAC qualifiers over the next several days. Day 1's in the books, and as far as we're concerned, it was a 2-0 win for Team Effect over Virtus Pro. Of course, there was the problem that they weren't able to get the match actually started for themselves. All the internet in half of their town apparently went down where the Virtus Pro team is boot camping. And so because of that, they ended up forfeiting that match 2-0. And Team Spirit now taking a 2-0, it gives them a pretty clear path to make it through to the playoffs. And the unfortunate part is that if, like, Virtus Pro drop one more game, I'm pretty sure that they're out. So very scary stuff indeed, the way that these groups are set up. Tomorrow, I believe we're going to be starting to take a look at Group B as well. And the teams that are in that are Vega Squadron, Comanche, Team Empire, and Friends. Any final thoughts before we finish off our coverage for day number 1?
No, that's a very exciting group coming up tomorrow. Very nice to see CIS getting their own qualifier. I definitely agree this region is one that's deserving of so. Should help the region in general start to focus more on building up the squads from within and whatnot, perhaps sticking around a little longer. Maybe some of that NA Dota treatment. Teams have been trying to get that together. Perhaps CIS will actually do it successfully. And for now, time to just go watch some of those EU games, right?
Absolutely. And if you guys want to check out the EU games that are going on currently, I believe it's Ad Finum versus Bears. You can check it out just by putting a 2 right at the end of that URL at the front. We're going to bring down the stream, and it will immediately start hosting that. So head on over there. Capitalist and Gods, I believe, are the 2 commentators. And
the Bears.
There's a couple more, absolutely. So thanks, guys, again for watching. Lyrical, as well as Trent Pax, your 2 casters. We'll see you tomorrow.